Coming right back to Citizen Georgia Live and on fire. Talking about some of the issues that need to be discussed, how government, how some of these candidates running for these different political offices will affect you and your family. Next up, we've got Larry Mrozinski, who's running for the 11th Congressional District. He's also a retired colonel. We want to welcome to the show Larry. Larry, welcome to Citizen Georgia.
Thank you, Anthony. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, we've had a number of the candidates here running for the 11th Congressional District. We've had Bob Barr, we've had Barry Loudermilk, we've had Ed Lindsay. How would you briefly differentiate who you are, Larry, versus some of these other candidates that are running?
Well, that's a great question, and I think it's deserves an answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I spent nearly 3 decades on active duty. I spent 3.5 years in the State Department working under the leadership of Condoleezza Rice, and what I brought into this for over my life is the understanding that character has fingerprints, tells you where you've been. I believe the differentiation is this, is you care about people, you care about your family, and you bring that back into your service life. It's not about the money, and that's why I've only one in the race who will not accept congressional retirement. It's not an issue, but it's an indicator of character. Term limits. This was never designed to be a career, Anthony. This was designed to serve the citizens, to be a career servant, just as George Washington was. So I believe the difference is this. Difference is I connect with the people, I've been with the folks, and I'm nearly over 3,000 doors that I've knocked on, and may I say through my second pair of shoes that I'm wearing today, what I've heard is, tired of career politicians, we will not vote for somebody who's been elected, somebody who is up for election. We need competence, and military is what we've had in leaders throughout, and I'm grateful that people recognize that, Anthony. I will bring tested, trusted leadership and integrity back to representative government.
Appreciate that response. You know, obviously, just in that response, it sounded like you're an advocate for term limits. Are you advocating that you'd only like to serve 2 or 3 terms, and that's something that you would like to champion as far as the legislation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think folks over a period of time have given me indications of serving for 10, for 12 years, ubiquitously across the 432 positions just in the House of Representatives alone. I think term limits is essential. If you can't get it done, as they say, in 2 to 4 to 6 years, then you have possibly failed leadership. I believe that I have that leadership capability, and like everyone is out here today in this beautiful 38th annual at Kennesaw, and all the thousands of people, I would tell you this: if you want to be a citizen and you want to serve, we need a rotation, as Thomas Jefferson said we needed. And I believe that I will bring that in the 10 or the 12 years and do what we all want with George Washington. Go back to our families and back to our communities.
Other than term limits, Larry, what other types of legislation would you, if elected, focus upon to have an impact?
Ladies and gentlemen, on ColonelLarry.com, I write an article every week of issues that are important to you. We need energy policy. 2008 was the last time that we had discussion of energy policy. We have a lot of tangents and odd discussions to get us off message. Jobs. This will bring jobs across America. Not only bring our fuel down, not only electrical bill, but we need to have jobs across America that are actually created by entrepreneurs. I believe that energy policy has to be introduced. And where's our leadership on that? We need that. We need it now. The Affordable Care Act. Oh yes, we need to take care of America. I've written on the inequities and the solutions to the Affordable Care Act. Whether it's telemedicine to bring down the cost, where you can call in to either a nurse practitioner or help, but bring down those rates like in Albany, which are 3 times higher than anywhere else that we have as far as rural in Georgia. I believe that's essential. And military veterans, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote the 10-point plan to redo the Veterans Administration and the backlog, and I've served as the Veterans Outreach Chair for the State of Georgia Republican Party for 2.5 years, appointed by Sue Everhart, our former chairman. There is no one that's going to fix the veterans' issues than Colonel Larry Mrozinski, retired. That's near and dear to my heart. And for the seniors out there, Anthony, I'll tell you this. When I came home and left my career to come home and take care of my mother, I was very well acquainted intimately with Medicare. And after my mother's passing, I made it a point that I would never allow a senior in the United States to be left with a choice to put their home in the care of the government. But what we need to do is make sure families and traditions can take care of the ones that...
Okay, Larry, okay, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've only got about 2 minutes left. I want to get into what I consider the rapid fire. Here, we're just about 2 minutes left. When it comes to taxes, we're talking about the federal debt spending and all these congressmen that are up there currently right now that continue to increase that. Are you an advocate to increase the debt ceiling?
Absolutely. Absolutely not. I would never increase the debt ceiling. I think it's a mistake. Failed leadership does that. And Anthony, when we're talking about increasing the debt ceiling, let's also put into that conversation about tax. There is those in this race that will tell you that we don't have a solution and we're talking about fair, flat, simple. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 73 in the House already co-sponsored for fair tax and 8 in the Senate, only 10 for flat tax. It's the only one that gets rid of the 16th Amendment. And ladies and gentlemen, I will vote for the fair tax. I will not equivocate. We need tax reform in this country and no debt limit to be raised or voted on by Congressman Mrozinski, Anthony.
So it sounds like your number one issue that you'd like to see, obviously, the focus on our energy policy. Is that the case, Larry?
Yeah, energy policy is very important. We need to focus on that. That'll be one of my first. There's several, Anthony. There is no one bullet that we need to do. We are in a crisis and a lack of leadership. We need several leadership decisions to take us up to the front. Energy is just one of those that I will act on initially when I get the Congress.
And in our last 30 seconds here of this segment, Larry, can you tell, if you were focused looking at someone in the eye that is a prospective 11th congressional district voter, why should they vote for you? Why should they hire you?
Ladies and gentlemen, I pledge to you this as I pledged to the Constitution of the United States over 3 decades, to my country, my family, that what I say I will do. I don't have any special interests or lobbyists behind me. I don't know anything except to the constituents who elect me. This is our time. This is our time to take it back. This is the end of the era of the career politicians. I tell you this, a vote for Colonel Mrozinski will bring Congressman Mrozinski into your homes and into the community. Let's take it back together. Help is on the way.
I want to thank Larry Mrozinski for being on the show today. Welcome to Citizen Georgia. Thanks for taking some time today.
Thank you, Andrew.
We wish you luck in your race. That's pretty much the wrap up here when we come down to the big shanty. The booths are starting to come down. But we thank everybody for listening today. Another great, successful Big Shanty Festival. A great community event, one between the Kennesaw Business Association and the city of Kennesaw.